Good morning, everyone. Especially to our instructor, Mr. Anthony Gamali. Good morning, sir. And my topic is Chapter 5, Related Philippine Laws that Promotes Nationalism and Patriotism. Republic Act number 10086, an act strengthening people's nationalism through Philippine history by changing the nomenclators of National Historical Institute into the National Historical Commission of the Philippines, strengthening its powers and functions for other purposes. It also known as the Philippine Cultural Heritage Act of 2010. Republic Act 8044, also known as the Youth in Nation Building Act, an act creating the National Youth Commission, establishing a national comprehensive and coordinated program on youth development, appropriating programs therefore and for other purposes. Republic Act number 1425, an act to include in curricula of all public and private schools, colleges, and universities courses on the life, works, and writings of Jose Rizal, particularly his novels Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo, authorizing the printing and distributing thereof, and for other purposes. The 1987 Constitution and Republic Act number 10390, an act amending Republic Act number 7306, entitled An Act Providing for the Establishment of the People's Television Network Incorporated, defining its power and functions, providing for its sources and funding, and for other purposes. It's also known as an act revitalizing the People's Television Network Incorporated. And Republic Act number 9512, approved last December 12, 2008. Also known as an act to promote environmental awareness through environmental education and for other purposes, or the National Environmental Awareness and Education Act of 2008. It is an act to promote environmental awareness through environmental education, known as EE, and covers the integration of EE in the school curricula at all levels, be it public or private, including daycare, preschool, non-formal, technical, vocational, indigenous learnings, and out-of-school youth courses or programs. Section 6 of the Act says that the DepEd should test the DNR, DOST, and other relevant agencies in consultation with experts on that environmental and the academy shall lead in the implementation of public education and awareness programs on environmental protection and conservation through collaborative interagency and multi-sectoral effort at all levels. It also declares November as the Environmental Awareness Month in the Philippines. And gender and development. Philippine Commission on Women defined gender and development as the development perspective and process that is participatory perspective and empowering, equitable, sustainable, free from violence, respectful of human rights, supportive of self-determination and actualization of human potentials. Gender and development, also known as God, forces approach focuses on the socially constructed basic of difference between men and women and emphasize the need to challenge existing gender roles and relations. God was developed in 1980s as an alternative to the Women in Development WID approach. Unlike WID, the God approach is not concerned specifically with women, but with the way in which a society assigns rules, responsibilities, and expectations to both women and men. God applies gender analysis to uncover the ways in which men and women work together, presenting results in neutral terms of economics and efficiency. The World Bank was the one of the first international organizations to recognize the need for women in development, appointing a WID advisor in 1977. In 1984, the bank mandate that its program considered women's issues. In 1994, the bank issued a policy papers on gender and development, reflecting current thinking on the subject. This policy aims to address policy and institutional constraints that maintain disparities between the gender and thus limit the effectiveness of development programs. Gender and development is considered with women and her specific roles, responsibilities, and expectations in the society. It also analyzed the nature of women's contribution within the context of work done both inside and outside the household and reflects the public or private dichotomy that undervalues the work done by women in the home. And gender and development focuses on the principle that development is for all. Everyone in society, female, has the right to equal opportunities to achieve a full, satisfying life. And does not define the following: not aware of sexes, not anti-male. Both women and men are victims, although women more than men. No. Both have a stake in the struggle for gender equality. And gender and development related laws and issuances in the Philippines. Philippine Plan for danger. Philippine Plan for Gender and Development, 1995 to 2025. Wow. National plan that addresses, provides and pursues full equality and development for men and women. Approved and adopted by former President Fidel V. Ramos as Executive Number 273 on September 8, 1995. It is the successor of the Philippine Development Plan for Women, 1989 to 1992, adopted by Executive Number 348 of February 17, 1989. And Republic Act Number 9710, Magna Carta of Women, approved on August 4, 2009, which mandates for non-discriminatory and pro-gender equality and equity measures to enable women's participation in the formulation, implementation, and evaluation of policies and plan for national policies and plan for national, regional, and local development. And Memorandum Circular number 2011, dated October 21, 2011, addressing to all government departments, including their attached agencies, office, bureaus, state universities, and colleges. CUC, government-owned and controlled corporations, GOCC, and all other government's instrumentalities as their guidelines and procedures for the establishment, strengthening, and institutionalization of gender and development. focal point system. Republic Act 7877, Anti-Sexual Harassment Act of 1995. It is an act declaring sexual harassment unlawful in the employment, education, or training, environmental, and for other purposes, was approved on February 14, 1995 and became effective on March 5, 1995. Okay. Republic Act 9262, Anti-Violence Against Women and Their Children Act of 2004. It protects the family and its members, particularly women and children, from violence and treats to their personal safety and security. And Republic Act 7192, Women in Developing and Nation Building Act. The act provides guidance and measures that will mobilize and enhance participations of women in the development process in ways equal to that of men. Memorandum Circular Number 48, Series of 2013, directing all concerned government agencies to adopt the gender equality guidelines in the development of their respective media policies and implementing program in order to promote gender mainstreaming. And Republic Act 10354, the Responsible Parenthood and Reproductive Health Act of 2012, or the RH law. It is a law in the Philippines which guarantees universal access to methods of contraceptions, fertility control, sexual education, and maternal care. 1987 Philippine Constitution, Article 2, Section 14. The state recognizes the role of women in nation building and shall promote the fundamental equality before the law of women and men. And 6, and gender, how they differ. And an extremely important part of individual's identity, and one that being at least at birth is gender. By Dr. Kenneth Kushner, 2012. It is more than knowing that you are male or female. Identification of sex is usually clearly internalized by age of 3 but begins around the age of 18 months. Gender refers to the specific set of characteristics that identifies the social behavior of women and men and the relation between them. Gender alludes not simply to women or men, but the relation between them and the way it is socially constructed. Since gender biases biases exist, and this biases biases prevent people from attaining their full potentials. Development is impeded em, impeded pakalitok. And the difference between sex and gender. Sex, categorized as male or female, fixed at birth, does not change across time and space, equally valued. And gender, masculine masculinity and femininity, socially, culturally, and historically determined, learned through socialization, varies over time and space. Unequal value, masculinity as the norm. Gender identity, gender role includes knowledge of a large set of rules and expectation for what boys and girls should wear, how they should speak and act, and their place in the overall structure of the society. It can be affected by number one, race. Each of the major divisions of humankind having distinct physical characters. And number two, ethnicity, fact or state of belongings to a social group that has a commonly national or cultural tradition. Number three, social class, a division of social based on social and economic status, upper class, new money, middle class, working poor, and poverty level. Religion, a particular system of faith and worship. Geographical region, a demarcated area of the earth. Common myths about gender. If a father does the household work, he is considered as under the saya. Men are better leaders and administrators than women. It is the woman's fault if she is being harassed sexually when she is wearing skinny clothing. Yes. It is not proper for a girl who says, "I love you" first to a boy. It depends. The mother should be the only one responsible for child rearing and parenting. And terms related to gender. Socialization. It is a process by which social norms, roles, and expectations are learned and internalized. Number two, Gender socialization. It is a process by which norms and expectations in relation to gender and learned by women and men. Number 3, gender stereotype. A form of prejudgment, bias or limitations given to rules and expectations of males and females. This may affect the gender equality and inequality in the society. Gender equality gives men and women the entitlement to us aspect of human development. Yes. Gender inequality refers to an equal treatment of perceptions of individual based on their gender. Gender is stereotype involves the determinations attribute by given cultures to women and men. In the following aspects: social roles, capacity, capacities, and traits and characters. And gender is stereotype in social role between men and women. Men provides financially for family, works as manager, construction builders or engineers, portrayed as a leader, and women takes care of the house and children, works as a nurse, teacher, secretary, portrayed as followers. And gender is stereotype in capacities between men and women. Men good in math and science, physically strong, yes, firm decision makers. And women good in arts and less intellectual pursuits, physically weaker and fragile, wishy-washy or fickle-minded in decision making. And gender is stereotype in traits and characteristics between men and women. Men active, aloof, aggressive, independent, brave. And women passive, loving, peaceful, dependent, fearful. And areas or channel of socialization. According to Dr. Ralph G. Pereno, 2000, family, schools, pairs, mass media, public opinion, and religion play a major role in socialization and ultimately the education process. Each of us proceeds through life in a manner that we often believe in under our immediate control and influence. It seems logically that the actions we take and the impact of those actions is based upon a series of logical rational decision selected by filtered by choice, not chance. Although this seems a reasonable manner in which to assess one's lot in life, it is far from reality, particularly in the area of education. One of the most dramatic impacts on a child's education is that of the socialization process: family, church, mass media, school, and pairs. And family, in the context of human society, a family is a group of people related either by consanguinity, by recognized birth, affinity, by marriage or other relationship, or co-residence, relatives and servants. It also known as the basic unit of raising children. In most societies, the family is the principal institution for the socialization of family. And there are two types of family: immediate family and extended family. When you say immediate family, may include spouse, parents, brothers, sisters, sons, and daughters. And extended family may include grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, nephews, niece, and siblings in law. Sometimes these are also considered members of the immediate family, depending on the individual's specific relations with them. And that's all.